Jess.
Yes.
Big Pig.
That's me.
Have you ever thought about changing your name?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
It's always been Big Pig.
It's always been big blue bibs.
Bielby.
It's always been blue bibs. No, I feel like when I first got it down,
Yeah.
it was because I didn't want anyone to know it was me. So I just used Big Pig on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And then obviously that didn't work because we did colours, and I was like, I have to do colours. And then I just kept it.
How did that even happen? Like how did colours happen where you were just putting stuff on SoundCloud, and did they just contact you or like, hey?
Yeah, they contacted me through SoundCloud. Basically just sent me a message and they were like, oh, we like your music. I had like 200 listens on a song.
Really?
Yeah, and there was a song I had called Sex, which was over like a Dilla beat. And it was up there, because I only used to like rip kind of instrumentals from YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I had like maybe like a couple tracks with Lloyd. And they were like, oh yeah, do you want to come to Berlin and do this? And I thought it was a joke. And I was like, oh.
Yeah,
and then I showed,
I
thought it was a scam. And I was like, oh, and then I showed Lloyd and he's like, you fucking have to do it, are you joking? And so we went to Berlin, I went over and just did it. And I remember being so nervous, like landing on the plane and being like, what is going on? Like, stayed in a hostel, had like a wild night afterwards. Just, yeah, it was nuts. It was fun. And then my whole career came off the back of that, to be honest.
Did it? Do you think Colours was like the turning point?
100%.
Really?
Yeah, it was massive. I mean, I think for like where I was at, because yeah, it was just getting like a few hundred listens on tracks, and then after that I had like managers and labels and stuff messaging, and I was like, wait, what? Are you guys sure?
Like, guys,
the girl called Big Pig?
My name is Big Pig. Like, I'm not
this
like
is
a
not
serious girl.
Yeah.
How old were you when that happened?
Oh God, I would have been like
18?
19, maybe 20, yeah.
Was it like an overwhelming experience to have suddenly like all that attention kind of like directed towards you?
That was nuts. I mean, I think the main thing was going for meetings, like, because I was still working at the time when...
Where were you working?
At the casino in central London, at the Empire. But I was doing poker dealing there for a while. Oh wow. Which was fun. It was really good money. So it was like, sick. Yeah, they were like, we want young girls that are like good at getting tips. So I was like, cool. Yeah. And I loved it. Like I loved everything about it. But the hours are nuts. It was like 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. and like, yeah, like 6 days a week. And it would just be a case of like finishing work, going home, getting a couple hours sleep, and then going to meetings and just being like, hi, like I haven't slept, but like, what are you talking about? And yeah, it was mad around that time, but yeah.
Did you ever get into, because I feel like when you're young, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
No.
You don't know what's going on in general in life.
No.
And then to have kind of the added pressure of eyes on you and kind of adults in suits saying, hey, this is going to be good for you. Like, did you ever find yourself in a deal or in kind of a situation where you were like, actually this doesn't feel right, or actually like maybe I regret doing that deal, or like was ever kind of dodgy business happening, or was it luckily smooth? I
think luckily for me it was pretty smooth. I think there were definitely like situations like where you'd meet certain managers or whatever and you'd be like, oh, like I've actually got the ick for the industry right now, because it's just like, I don't know, I think you can tell pretty quickly if someone's in it for the love of what they do and the love of music, or if someone's like, just like the language they use and everything, just cringe, just slimy, and just a bit like, you can like, I don't know, I can't even talk about it. It's so grim, but yeah, and a few studio sessions, I guess, where like you realize being a woman in that room and a young woman at that point as well, it's just like, it can be, especially if it's like an older male producer, it can be quite like, you don't know what you're doing, so like, there's no relevance. Like, it just, you have to really prove yourself in some rooms, I think. As to like, no, I write my own stuff, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than being like, kind of pushed into this. You're just a singer, so just sing the stuff that I give you, because, yeah.
What the fuck was I talking about?
You were talking about...
how I'm in love with you. I was talking about your Instagram. I feel like people are really drawn to it. I feel like you do have actually like a really strong aesthetic, which has really evolved as well.
Thanks.
From like the SoundCloud days to like Watch Me, which is such a different aesthetic to like you just doing like boom bap, you know, like it's so different. Like how do you balance the two aesthetics, or like was that just like a natural?
To be honest, like I don't really...
Do you not think about it?
I don't think about it too much. Like I did before, I was like, oh, people are gonna reject it if I do something different, or people are gonna like have something to say, but I was like, you know what, actually, like realistically, I just want to make the art that I want to make, and I think when, I guess that's there has come up in conversation before, like the problem of like, I guess branding, if like people like Sorry, I'm slipping off this thing.
Get closer.
Don't be scared. But branding or whatever, I think like it's, people are like, well, how are the fans gonna know it's you if you're always switching your thing? And I'm like, I mean, I think, to be honest, like the music will find the people it needs to find. I feel like there are people that enjoy the different kind of eras and the different kind of stuff. Like, I don't know. I just never want to limit myself for the fact of a lens, do you know what I mean? In the way of like, oh, well, I couldn't do that because I've done this before or whatever. Like, I find it fun, I find it exciting and just like, I don't know, inspiring to jump around and try new things and push my limits. Like, but yeah, but it was definitely like very different vibes. I had fun with it though.
Do you find it easier to write about things when you're in a relationship or not in a relationship?
I don't know. I think probably when I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I've got more things to be like, fuck you, I hate you.
When life is going by,
yeah.
you're kind of like,
you weren't even that good in bed. It's, like, it's just ridiculous. But then when I'm in love, I'm like, actually things are all right. Yeah. Actually, yeah. I'm so sorry, I really love you. There's only so many ways you can say I love you. Whereas I think there's like a lot of ways you can say I don't like, or like I feel hurt by it. Or I guess like it brings things out when you feel, I don't know, maybe I'm just looking at it wrong, but I think when you feel betrayed or when you feel let down or when you feel like abandoned, whatever, it's like, I think, especially if you've had that feeling in different contexts before, it gives you like more thing of like, well, I know how to write about this and I can write about this in so many different ways. Whereas when you feel like real good love, you're like, damn, like, I don't know really how to write, like, how to write too much about it. I've got a real fear of jinxing things. Like, I'm very paranoid and superstitious. I don't know if you could tell.
I don't know if you can tell by my eyes darting around right now. I'm paranoid.
Let me rocking back and forth.
9/8 Collective.
Yes.
I asked Lloyd, Mr. Lloyd Mac Wetha, about
Mr. Serious Lloyd Mac Wetha.
Lloyd Mac Wetha over here. I asked him all about 9/8. He had his own. Why are you doing that face?
Sorry, it just knocked me over. I thought.
Hey.
Okay, do it again. Sorry. We're stargazing. It's true.
We're stargazing. Everything goes.
Look
I'm
at
crazy.
The stars.
Yeah, stars.
Look how they shine for you.
So Lloyd, Mr. Mac Wetha, Sir Mac Wetha, Lloyd, he told me you guys all met in school at 9/8.
We did.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's like divine timing.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's not.
Like, that's fucking nuts.
The stars aligned, if you will.
Fuck.
But I guess, like, I don't know, I think that college kind of time, because I went to a Catholic school before that, like an all-girls Catholic school.
Yeah. Was it in London?
Hated it. Yeah, it was in London.
Was it?
Yeah, and it was just like that thing of going from there to like a college where it's like you can wear whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's like a mixed school and it's just like kind of like music is, there's like stuff you can play with music whenever you want and and it's just like, it became, I don't know, just like a really freeing place to be, I think. And I think like you're just able to like lead with passion rather than like, I don't know, people were just a lot more open, I think, in that environment, which is cool. But yeah, we all met because we're all in music production course. And then we'd all hang out in the smokers.
Oh, you were the...
Because we were so
you were that cool.
No.
Oh shit, I was not one of those kids. How different do you think your career would be so far if you hadn't met those guys? Like
massively different, I think. Like, it was, because like I used to make music before I went to college. I started writing when I was like 14 maybe, and going to open mics when I was like 15. I started to kind of just like write poetry and then write music and stuff, and I loved it because it just felt like an escape and somewhere that you could put everything and make sense of stuff and felt less lonely because I was a fucking loser before.
Me too, yeah. I'm still a loser.
Oh my god, say yeah. I'm just a loser with cred now.
Oh shit!
And then we started making music with them, but I was like, I'm never going to release anything, whatever else. And then when I left college, I was like, fuck it, maybe I'll release something. I like doing it, so I'm going to do it. Like, yeah, and then off the back of that, it just felt good. I feel like when you're supported though by a collective like that, like a lot of people don't have that. I feel like if I hadn't had the friends that I've got in that collective and been like supported that way, like Lloyd used to always be, Lloyd used to always be kind of the person that was like, because I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh, like, no way, like I can't put this out, or like, is that any good? Like, I don't know. And I was really unsure of myself and really like insecure with just what I was creating. And he was always the person that was like, Jess, like, just put it out, I get sick, whatever else. And he always backed it so much. And we did that a lot for each other, I feel like, because you create a space that's so safe to create with no like fear of judgment or kind of, yeah. So it became just somewhere that you can nurture a creative thing. It was sick.
Jess.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for coming stargazing with me.
I've loved it every second of it. Yeah.